Before Sunday's green flag even drops at San Diego, two of the most talked about names in the NASCAR Cup Series are already making headlines, and neither one of them has anything to do with the brand new street circuit everybody is nervously staring at. One driver has a fractured wrist that has not fully healed. His team is quietly planning for the possibility that he might not make it to the checkered flag himself. The other driver is being kept out of Saturday's race for a completely different reason, a rule tied directly to his own success this season. Both situations have now been resolved, both backup drivers have been officially confirmed, and both stories tell you something important about just how unusual this San Diego weekend really is. Before we get into it, welcome to NASCAR Hub. Hit that like button and subscribe. We are pushing hard for 1,000 subscribers, and if you live and breathe NASCAR every single week, you are exactly where you need to be. Let's get into it. First, let's set the stage for what is actually happening this weekend. The race is the Andrill 250, a 75-lap event scheduled for Sunday, June 21st, taking place on the Qualcomm circuit, a 19-turn, 3.4-mile layout built on Naval Base Coronado in San Diego, California. This is NASCAR's first ever event on this brand new street circuit. Every driver entered in the race is facing the same challenge of learning a layout that none of them have ever competed on before. Zero data, zero past experience, completely equal playing field. And yet, heading into this historic weekend, two of the sport's most discussed names are dealing with circumstances that have nothing to do with the new track itself. Let's start with Connor Zilisch. Earlier this season, Zilisch moved up to the Cup Series full-time with Trackhouse Racing, a significant step forward following a remarkable rookie campaign in which he won 10 races. Despite now competing full-time in the Cup Series, Zilisch has continued making appearances in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, returning to his former team JR Motorsports 7 times already this season. Each of those starts has come behind the wheel of the number 1 Chevrolet, a car he's been splitting with fellow driver Carson Kvapil. His form in that car has been excellent, with wins already secured this year at Bristol Motor Speedway and Watkins Glen International, building on his 10-win rookie season from the year before. Most recently, Zilisch competed at Pocono Raceway, where he finished 9th. Despite that strong form, Zilisch will not be racing in this weekend's O'Reilly Series event in San Diego, and the reason is a specific rule within the series. Full-time Cup Series drivers are only eligible to compete in Sunday's Cup race on the new Qualcomm circuit, since the course is brand new to every competitor in the field. That same rule does not extend to Saturday's O'Reilly Series race, which means Zilisch is excluded from that event entirely this weekend. With Zilisch unavailable, his replacement has been officially confirmed. Carson Kvapil will return to the number 1 Chevrolet for Saturday's United Rentals Driven to Serve 250. And Kvapil's story this season is genuinely one of the most unusual in all of NASCAR right now. He has swapped teams 6 times already this year. This weekend marks his 13th car change in 18 races. It also represents his 7th consecutive entry switch, meaning he has not driven the same car in back-to-back races since April. Beyond the number 1 Chevrolet, Kvapil has also driven the number 9 Chevrolet for JR Motorsports when that car is needed, and the number 91 Chevrolet for DGM Racing alongside Jesse Iwuji Motorsports, whenever both JR entries are already occupied. Despite the constant movement between cars and teams, his results have remained remarkably consistent. He currently sits 7th in the O'Reilly Series point standings, 94 points above the postseason cut line. His season includes 9 top 10 finishes, 4 of which landed inside the top 5. He's still searching for his first career victory at this level. Zilisch is expected to return to the number 1 Chevrolet for the following 2 O'Reilly Series races at Sonoma Raceway and Chicagoland Speedway. Saturday's race will air on the CW network with coverage beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, let's get to the second story, and this one is more serious. Christopher Bell is racing through a significant physical setback. Bell suffered a fractured left wrist in a hard crash with Hendrick Motorsports' Chase Elliott at Michigan International Speedway 2 weekends ago. Despite the injury, Bell competed in the full race distance at Pocono, stating afterward that his wrist felt fine except in moments when his car absorbed bumps from competitors around him. Heading into San Diego, the question of whether Bell will complete the full race distance remains completely unresolved. Speaking after Friday's opening practice session, Bell addressed his uncertain status directly. He said, I don't know. That's going to be a decision that we weigh out as it unfolds, so we haven't made the decision yet, and yeah, I think it's going to be a game time decision. Part of the difficulty stems from the nature of the Qualcomm circuit itself. The layout demands far more aggressive steering input than the sweeping triangular design of Pocono, placing additional strain on an injury still in its early stages of recovery. Bell was direct about how serious this actually is. He said, "I will say that it is a very high-risk racetrack, and I can't afford any setbacks. I'm already 2 weeks into this healing process now, so the goal certainly is to get back to 100% as quick as possible. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens." Adding to the physical challenge, Bell's cast had to be rewrapped this week after losing its shape following the Pocono race. And during Friday's practice session, Bell and his standby driver combined to produce the 36th fastest lap among the 39-car field. With Bell's status uncertain, his team has confirmed a backup driver for the San Diego weekend. Brent Cruz, an 18-year-old Joe Gibbs Racing driver competing in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, will be on standby for Bell throughout the race. Cruz enters the weekend in strong form, recording 6 top 5 finishes, including 3 runner-up results across his 9 most recent starts. He currently has no prior Cup Series race experience. His path to this moment has been built steadily. He finished 6th during his O'Reilly Series debut at Circuit of the Americas in March, followed by another 6th-place finish at Watkins Glen in May. He also recorded a 2nd-place finish at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval in a Truck Series race in October 2025. During Friday's Cup Series practice, Cruz took several laps behind the wheel of Bell's car and nearly matched Bell's fastest lap time, trailing by just 0.050 seconds. Cruz spoke about the circumstances heading into the weekend. He said, "Yeah, it sucks for sure, but lucky enough to be able to be friends with Christopher for a while now. We've raced a whole lot of dirt racing together and stuff like that, so being able to just kind of be around and shadow him a little bit more has been cool. I fit in the seat, so hopefully Christopher will be able to be all right and dig through it with his wrist. He's extremely tough, so I think he's going to be just fine, but I'll be ready if need be." Bell also spoke about Cruz and why he sees this as an almost ideal standby situation. He said, "I really think that this is the perfect scenario for Brent, coming to a racetrack where it's an equal playing field for everybody. He's obviously an amazing road course racer, he did great in the simulator, and then, yeah, practice. We're really struggling with our car right now, but he certainly was doing a great job. I know that he will do really well, and if he races, we're not going to be limited by driver." The key thing to understand about Bell's situation from a standings perspective, all he needs to do to receive credit for the result of his number 20 car in Sunday's 75-lap race is start the event regardless of whether he completes it himself. Bell currently sits 10th in the Cup Series point standings, 70 points above the postseason cut line. Now, let's look at what actually happened in Friday's practice session, because the speed chart told an interesting story. Kyle Larson posted the fastest lap of the entire session, completing the circuit in 2 minutes 16.588 seconds at an average speed of 89.613 miles per hour. The top 5 fastest drivers were Larson, followed by Todd Gilliland, Ty Gibbs, Connor Zilisch, and Carson Hocevar. Further down the order, Shane Van Gisbergen posted the 8th fastest lap. Austin Hill, now driving the car vacated by the late Kyle Busch, finished 9th fastest. The session also marked a significant milestone for Kevin Magnussen, who is making his NASCAR Cup Series debut this weekend behind the wheel of the number 91 Trackhouse Chevrolet, part of the Project 91 program. Magnussen finished 39th fastest in the session. So here's where everything stands heading into Sunday. The Andrill 250 is a 75-lap race on a track that nobody has ever competed on before. Larson is the fastest in practice. Van Gisbergen, the clear betting favorite, is 8th in the session, but has already warned everyone that this track is going to produce bad handling cars and absolute chaos. Bell is racing with a fractured wrist and an 18-year-old standby driver ready to jump in at any moment. And Zilisch, who might have been one of the favorites on a brand new street course, is watching Saturday's race from the garage. The central question entering Sunday remains unresolved. Whether Bell starts the race, completes the full distance himself, or hands the wheel over to Cruz at some point during the 75 laps is a decision that by Bell's own account will not be made until the race is already underway. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Christopher Bell makes it the full 75 laps, or does Brent Cruz get his surprise Cup Series debut? And with Larson fastest in practice, is this the race that finally breaks Van Gisbergen's streak at new street courses? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Hub. We are just getting started and we want you along for every single lap. Thanks for watching. See you at San Diego.